And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Okay, so around 24 hours since, of course, we drew against Dundee at Dens Park, where it probably see a majority, probably I would say 90% of the Rangers fan base mentally concede this league title and kind of join the Rangers players in conceding it. A real horrible time to be a Rangers fan at this moment in time. Literally this time last week we were leading up to the weekend and thinking that we could literally be 2 points clear going into the split after the two matches that we were supposed to play, but absolutely disastrous, and we've let this one go away. I can't believe it. We were coming off the back of a game against Celtic where there was a bit of euphoria and a feeling that we missed an opportunity to go top, but it wasn't complete end of the world, and we showed some heart and showed some determination to come back. But then to see the two games that have followed that have absolutely been a disgrace to this football club, and we're going to Hampden on Sunday. It should always be an exciting moment for us in the diary, an exciting game for us, a chance to get to the Scottish Cup final. But there's just so much doom and gloom around this team at this moment in time, and I'm not even excited for the game. Of course, I will be back in this side as the first whistle blows at Hampden Park, as I always do, hoping for a reaction and hoping that Rangers can somehow beat this Hearts side that are in decent form as of late. But again, everybody else has their kind of reservations with regards to it. But guys, in today's video, I don't want to be discussing so much about this season because it's absolutely depressing at this moment in time. I actually want to be speaking about the summer and discussing the scary truth that nobody is really talking about. And again, it's a topic and the topic of discussion that probably, again, always kind of comes up when Rangers do bad. Look, we've known for a long period of time that this Rangers team isn't good. It isn't good, even after Michael Beale was, of course, dismissed. He spent a load of money on some crap players. And just because Philippe Clement came in and got the best out of these kind of group of players, and obviously it's waned since then, but we always knew that we were going to need to bring in some more players in the transfer windows. We probably should have brought a striker in the last January transfer window. Fans were shouting from the rooftops with regards to that. It didn't happen, and we're probably ruining that decision right now. But going into the summer, it's clear as day, and a lot of Rangers supporters want a complete strip and a complete rebuild. But the scary truth about it, us not winning this league title, is where is the money coming from to fund this rebuild, and how are we going to shift these players that have just signed, or these players that are on big contracts? How are we going to go shift them out the door and start again? Well, that's where we discuss this in today's video, because not winning the league is going to probably mean that we don't get any Champions League football unless we, of course, navigate the qualifiers, which is possible, which means that we're going to need a lot of upfront investment coming from our investors in the summer. And of course, yes, we made a bit of money throughout the Europa League this year, but also probably going to have to rely on sales. And now this one, looking at our team, we haven't really got that much assets. And one player this season has probably been our standout player for majority of the campaign, and probably deserves to be in a winning side. And I actually do feel sorry for him, kind of embarrassed in a little way that he is playing for us at this moment in time, and the way that we're chucking away this title is Jack Butland. Already in the lead up to the summer transfer window, we already know that a fair few clubs are interested in the player's services, and this player would be pure profit for Rangers. And I feel that if Rangers do concede this title, which looks like it is going to be, going into the summer and trying to fund a rebuild, I think he will be the first man to leave this summer, which would be very, very, very sad, but something, and a scary truth, that might actually have to happen for us to fund this big rebuild in the summer transfer window. We also can't be offering John Lundstrom a contract. I think last week Philippe Clement was asked about this situation with regards to John Lundstram and said that the player wants to sign a new deal. He wants to sign a new deal, and he wants him to sign a new deal, and he's confident he wants to sign a new deal. When can Rangers retract that contract offer? He's been lulling it there. He's obviously waiting for better offers. I think we need to pull that contract off beneath him and try and get something else. We probably also need to get on the phone to Steven Gerrard with regards to James Tavernier. I've been hearing a lot of reports linking him to the Saudi Pro League, and Steven Gerrard, we know how fond he is, so maybe we could get a bit of money with regards to him. But the truth is, this summer, ladies and gentlemen, us not winning this league title, us going into this rebuild, we haven't got an awful lot of cash. We've got a lot of players on long contracts, and it's going to be a very, very interesting summer on how we actually operate over the summer transfer window, how we're going to get players out of the door, how we're going to be bringing in players. What I did like to see from Niels Cooper, and I hope he's had his work cut out since January, since he's came in, was those shrewd signings that he made, whether it had been Diamande, whether it had been Oscar Cortez. I think we're missing an Oscar Cortez type of player. Obviously, annoying that he got injured. Diamande as well with this sort of thumb. I liked those sort of signings that we went through, and they were quite cheap. Obviously, we were low into option to buy a bit later on at the end of the season, or an obligation to buy at the end of the season. But I like the direction he's going there with those sorts of signings, and hopefully, of course, we can make some more of them. But we've got to be very, very shrewd. I hope Niels has been doing a lot of scouting. He's got a lot of players in that black book of his, because somehow we're going to have to rebuild this team on a bit of a shoestring budget, unless, of course, we do sell some high-profile players. And I think Jack Butland, unfortunately, will probably be going out the door first, just because, well, he can probably command the highest fees, pure profit, and it would probably kickstart our rebuild. There's talks that he could potentially go for 20 million quid, and if there's a lot of clubs interested in the fact he's English, the fact he could go down to the English Premier League, that's probably our biggest fee that we could probably command this summer, which will probably need to happen, which is the sad truth, and quite frankly the most annoying truth, because then we're going to have to try and look for a new goalkeeper. But certainly this summer is going to be very, very interesting, and not as straightforward as everyone seems to think, of just ripping up the whole team and starting it together. Every summer it feels like we're having a rebuild. Last summer was supposed to be the rebuild, but we got a team full of absolute crap. But the first two big decisions that need to be made in this summer transfer window, or before the summer transfer window, is the dead wood that are coming to the end of their contract. None of those players, now including John Lundstram, does not get a contract. Those players do not get a contract. Everyone here, Barisic, Jack, I can't remember, there's loads of them, Balogun, Lundstram, all these boys that are coming down to in the final few months of their contract, they aren't getting a new contract. That has to be the first big decision Philippe Clement needs to make. Then going into the summer, he's got to say thanks for your service to Connor Goldson and start to look and identify a new centre-back pairing. I don't mind Suter. I think Suter's very, very good, but we need to find a brand new centre-back as well. Tavernier, there has to be a decision made on him. Do we cash in on him on the Saudi money? Do we cash in on him, try and get 10 million quid for him from the Saudi money? Or can we try and utilise and change his position? There's been a lot of topic. There's a lot of debate whether we can change it. Can he go and play a right mid? But we need a new right back who's very, very good at defence. And I would push James Tavernier up. I think he's a great player going forward. But defensively, especially over the last sort of 5 games, he has been absolutely woeful when he's played his part in costing this. Left back as well, another situation there. Could we go in and get Owen Beck? He was a player that we made an offer for in the January. We need a good defensive left back playing for Rangers. Again, Ridvan Yilmaz is a good option. However, there's talk that we could cash in on him as well, because of his age, and he's also always injury prone. I would look and maybe try and bring in Owen Beck and try and bring him in as the left back, and then the midfield needs ripped up and start again as well. That's why you win games. We've never really controlled an Old Firm derby since the days of Davies, Kamara, who else did we have in there? Davies, Kamara, I can't remember the bloody team of the midfield. But Davies and Kamara are big blows, of course, big misses. We've never really replaced them, and we've never been able to control an Old Firm game with having them in. So we need to try and get a brand new midfield that can control matches going forward as well. And then, of course, up front, oh my goodness me, a lot of work to do there. We need strikers. We need a multiple forward players, and something that needs to happen. But, as stated, the scary truth is, troops, is that we're probably not going to have the money for this rebuild, and the scary truth is that we're probably going to have to sell to buy, and it does seem as though Jack Butland will probably be the first player at the door, in my personal opinion, which would kill me to see this. Unless these players turn this around, or less Celtic shit the bed in the next 5 games, that's probably what our summer is going to be about, selling to buy, which is an absolute horrific state to be in. While Celtic will be getting £60 million and spending from a position of strength, which is also the most brutal part of us losing and conceding this title in this way. But Rangers fans, do let me know your thoughts on the upcoming summer. How many players do we need to sign? Do you think we'll have to sell Jack Butland to fund a rebuild if we don't win the league? And stated, let me know your thoughts. Do you think John Lundstram should get a contract? How do we offload some of this deadwood? And how many players do we realistically need to sign in this summer transfer window? As stated, let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.